everyone and welcome to Season 3 of Blood Bowl. It was 5 years ago that second season released, I think, and it was a really good box, like really good value for money. And with Games Workshop raising prices despite what's going on in the world, honestly expected the third edition box to be not as good a deal, but it was actually better, which is shocking for Games Workshop. If we just turn this very heavy box over, we can get an idea for what we have here. If you just excuse the shiny part, move it here, there we go. We're getting two full teams, the Brion Barons and the Nehekara Nightmares, aka Tomb Kings and the Bretonnians. We have the double-sided pits, double-sided dugouts rather, the double-sided pitch, the new hardback rulebook for the third season we'll take a look at, new quick reference, the new tokens they're using. They finally cottoned on to what third-party people have been providing to Blood Bowl for years and years and years now and decided to do their own. You get your dice and everything like that. So we're going to open up and take a look, and if you get this from a third-party retailer, it's going to cost you about £75. I think second season was like 80 something, and if you wanted to buy everything that came in this box separately at third-party retailer prices, you'd be paying double. So I don't know why Blood Bowl is the one game the Games Workshop offers good deals on, but hey, here it is. So I wasn't kidding when I said this box is really, really heavy. Let's see, we have to start sprue. So much sprue, color coordinated sprue. What has not changed, as far as I'm aware, is the double parted thing for working out throws, although throws themselves have been made simpler in this edition. That's for the kickoff and the throwing back in tool here as well, for the table edges. So those are the same. You probably already got those if you have any edition of Blood Bowl already. I think I've got like 4 sets of these kicking about now. But then we start with one of the new things. So these are markers, this way around, there we go, for various status effects, rooted, stunned, you've done your blitz, etc. A ball token where the miniature holding the ball can fit on it, and what is this? That's a bomb token with a bit of, don't know what that was, cardboard, and the ball token itself. Yeah, so third-party retailers have been doing things for around the bases of players forever. I've got one for ball carriers that is like fluorescent orange. They're very handy, super handy, so Games Workshop finally cottoned on and did their own. I'm a little disappointed they didn't just come in like pre-coloured plastic, because you don't really need to make these look fancy. They're for practicality, play purposes. They did mention like larger models, if having to set them down for being stunned or whatever, they can be awkward, so putting these around them instead of pushing your miniatures over can be a better suggestion. So it's good that they're here. It is just a shame that they're all in plain plastic, but I guess that means you can colour code them however you like, and you get to claim that you have a dodgy snack marker, which is very, very important. Also chomped and dodgy snack are just absolutely wonderful things to need to have a marker for, and old classics like eye gouge, etc. So you get quite a few of them. I'm not sure if that would be enough depending on which teams are getting met, but yeah, seems good to me, and a nice addition. I'm surprised it took them this long to cotton on to people doing that, to be honest. And here is the first of 2 bits of sprue for the entirety of the Tomb Kings. This is like my preferred of the two teams. I think they look great and they just seem more interesting overall. I think both sides are 14 players, and among the relatively small changes the third edition rules have, they are settling on what comes in a team box is what you can use to try and deter or remove the need for buying multiple boxes. Like for instance, you're going to want 4 blitzers. Well no, if you have 2, that's how many you're getting, that's how many you need. So that's one of the positive changes for the game. I've also just noticed, and it is visible, look there, look in the box, what did that? That looks like a poop stain, and there's muck in there. I bet, yeah, it's actually on other sides as well. Like, what is that? What did that? That's disgusting. Oh well, I didn't really need a clean box, I suppose. Here is the other half of the sprue. Basically identical, in fact yes, identical, but there'll be parts on each to customize like the mummies to make each one look slightly different, which I'm currently painting up the vampire team, and that's like that, and it's actually really nice. Like, they look different enough. The Bretonnians, kind of in a Flesh Terror red type colour. Again, you're getting 2 bits of sprue that are essentially the same, but you can change little bits on players to make them look different at a glance. You're not getting identical players, even though there's usually Got 3 specialist poses and then the 3 lineman poses, 2 of each. And again, here is the other sprue, opposite side, but all the same bits. And then we get into the goodies, although I'm going to have a quick look at the other corners down here and see if they're mucky as well. Yeah, they are. The box is actually filthy. I'm going to show you, I'll give it a spin once I'm done here. The sprue has done a bit of damage to that as well, but that's what that's there for, so that's fine. Is there a cool picture on the back? No, that's a shame. That's unfortunate, but that's fine. That's fine. So we have actually this is nicely laid out compared to previous. I remember second edition kind of being all over the place, but this is very similar to how they do the kill team boxes in terms of how they're tidying up. So we'll look at these eventually. I have a feeling that's just the dice, but we'll check that soon. That'll be the pitch and the dugout. So the other one will be the book. We have our team transfers right there. Our bases for both teams. So that should be what, 28 bases in there. And then what is this? The assembly instructions is what these are. I don't know if there's any printed errors in these. I haven't heard any word about it, but always worth checking out before you start assembling things, just in case. But yeah, there's alternatives. Alternative hands, alternative heads, just to have a little bit of a difference between linemen and your specialists. And there's a look at the Tomb Kings. Actually, the Tonians were right there as well. So yeah, this box, dirty stains there, stains there, very, very stained in that corner. There's bits of something down there. And look at this side. It is, I guess it must just be the paper that they've wrapped the pitches in and stuff. They must just not be like well printed or stained. But yeah, the inside of this box is, as I drop the dice, is manky, which is a little ugh. I mean, it doesn't change anything, it's just kind of to look at. For your perusal, here are what the dice look like, and also proof that they work. So I think they also released like unique team dice, but honestly I think these probably look a little bit better. They don't look as fancy, fair enough, but they look much more practical, and you're getting the usual setup. So 4 normal ones, then your D12 and your D8 and the D6, just for everything you need. I wonder how many both downs I'll roll. Well, I got a 1, but the rest were actually okay. And the Tomb King ones, like you're actually rolling bones. They're very fitting. Oh, that was a down and both down. Let's see if I can keep the block going. Nope, that was just push. That's fine. So yeah, I think the dice you get look great. And at least they're sort of fancy looking, unlike your kill team boxes, which come with the most basic, horrible, basic, tiny white dice I've ever seen. I put aside the box so that we can open this next, and it's not like it's staining it's not staining my hands or anything, so I don't really know how it stained the box so badly. And it's the colours, like it is actually the running colours of these two as far as I can tell. But either way, we have ourselves pitch plus dugouts. I won't be needing this packaging again, so off it goes. So there is our 2 dugouts. The same basic dugout design they've been using for so very long. Although second season dugouts were actually a bit more, they were longer and less thick, takes up less table space, so I prefer them personally. And then the other side, for the other side of the pitch, is just the basic stone pitch as well. They haven't done anything fancy because there's unique team pitches that they want you to buy as well, of course. But we can take a quick look at part of the table. And what I do like, and I hope they continue doing, is that the centre of the pitch isn't as bad for obscuring where the markers are for placement of miniatures. The Blood Bowl logo is a little bit smaller. It's the different logo, so it's not just the big skull. It's got space, and it more easily shows you where the outlines for each of the spaces are. So I like that change a lot because it always annoys me. They always make where most of the action will happen really in the centre of the pitch, because this is where every drive begins. It makes it hard to see where each individual square is at a glance. So I'm glad they've kind of changed that. Although saying that, maybe we should check the other side as well and see if that is the same. No, on the other side it has the skull I was talking about, and it does not have the markers, so never mind. It's only for the basic grass pitch they've done that, which I wish this had all the markers as well. They've actually made that skull about like half the size it used to be. Like, it definitely used to be bigger, but Yeah, I wish they had the markers for each individual square. That's such a shame that it's only one side. And last but by no means least, I think the only thing in here is the new rulebook, and it's a chunky one. Yeah, it is. There it is. So you can buy this separately if you're not interested in the teams or whatever else. You can just get the new edition of the rulebook. Oh, and the quick reference, that's the other thing that's in here, of course. So yeah, the rules are largely unchanged. There's one new skill tree, it's Devious, I think it's called, something like that. It begins with D. And there's just some tidying of the rules, condensing of the rules, using the same terms for multiple things now, so it's easier to remember certain things, and just in general making passing less of a headache, which I'm really looking forward to learning the new passing, because passing always confused me, to be honest. But yeah, good quick reference. The kickoff table has also been changed slightly. There's no officious ref anymore, since it was considered too damaging to one side were you to get it. So that's good. Other than that, like, your core rules are still just Blood Bowl. It's just they're tidied up a little bit, and that's what it needed. Because I don't think there was any super serious problems with 2nd edition or anything like that. They've just improved upon it, and that's good. And they're using all the art, the same art style, which is a great art style. It suits Blood Bowl a lot. So this has everything in at the back. It does have updated cards for star players, and a reference this way. It does have, there we go, for instance, the Nurgle team. Rebalanced teams. Most teams have not been changed super significantly. Now I will say there is one big problem about this rulebook, and that's that there are some printing errors with some of the team lists at the back here, which is not great. They copied and pasted, I think, some big guys from one team to another, so some teams have access to trees they shouldn't have, and skills they shouldn't have. There is an errata available already for free, but it's just really disappointing that some stuff slipped through the gaps, and it was something as useful as like having your team updated and collected. But yeah, some teams have cheaper stuff, like a little bit of adjustment to points. A lot of people have had their passing in general improved to try and encourage it. Like, passing specific models are still, like your throwers, are still going to be best at it. And there's a new guaranteed pickup ball. I can't remember if it's a guarantee or a 2+, but it just ends your turn when you do it. But it's just to make sure the early game you're not fumbling around. We've all had at least one game of Blood Bowl where that's happened, and it's just, it doesn't feel nice. So now there's a solution for that, and that, again, that's a good change. So you've got all that in here. You've got your lore. Oh, cracking the spine. Oh, that's good. That's good. And as far as 7s go, I don't know if they'll be updating the rules for 7s for this edition. I don't really feel like they need to. I feel like you can adapt 7s. Oh, he's been hitting the naughty parts. You can adapt the rules for 7s with the changes and not worry too much at all. I'm looking forward to looking at all the art in this, because, as I say, I love the art style for Blood Bowl they've stuck with since 2nd edition. So yeah, there's still rules for leagues, just how to play in general, and then all your traits, all your skills. And oh yeah, another big change, just the last one I'll mention before we finish here, is that for teams like the Nurgle team that I was just looking at there, I think it's the Brawling Brutes special rule now is what it's called. Teams that have that score more SPP for doing damage to the enemy team than they do for scoring, since they're not really a scoring team, as it were. That's another fantastic change. And that about does it for everything you get in Blood Bowl 3rd Season Edition. If you're interested in even one of the teams in this box, I would say make sure you get the box. It is such good value, and you can just sell on the other one as opposed to trying to buy it separately, and then you're getting so much less for your money. Just find someone who wants the other half, especially because you're getting those new tokens for use. You're getting the updated rulebook, which you can buy separately. Again, if you're not interested in any of the teams, just get the updated rulebook and follow the errata online as well. You're not missing out if you're not interested in any of the teams, as long as you pick up this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little look. I hope it helped you make a buying decision. And if we do see some 3rd edition on the channel, I imagine it will be in the 7s format, just because that's so much easier to record. But I've been knocking around this idea for a more streamlined way to show Blood Bowl on the channel, which might appear probably not this year, but early next year. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, ta-ta for now.